in the plants versus there is zero fiber, zero phytonutrients in animals. Then there is 10 times more iron, and that's the good non-heme iron versus the heme iron found in animals that's pro-oxidative. There's twice as much calcium in the plants. There's thousands of times more of the antioxidant beta carotene in the plants. Okay, boom. Nutrient adequacy, disease fighting capability in the plants. So it's two sides of the same coin. It's what you are eating versus, and also what you're not eating. So choosing plants over animals, you're getting all the good stuff and none of the bad stuff. And when you're eating the animals, you're getting none of the good stuff, and you're still getting some of the stuff you need, but you're also getting some of the things that are health damaging, which we're going to talk about right here. In animal products, we have those saturated fats, high levels of them. They have the oxidized cholesterol, which is atherogenic. There is heme iron, which is oxidizing, which increases the risk of strokes and cancer. It boosts all those amino acids and all the high protein payload that everyone's so excited about, really boosts IGF-1 levels. And that's not good when it comes to cancer and other things. There's TMAO via the carnitine route, and there's all these other routes where you get TMAO. There's a bioconcentration because we're going up the food chain, and you're bioconcentrating heavy metals, antibiotics, hormones, pesticides, herbicides, and so many other things. Now microplastics, all these other things that get concentrated into the flesh of the animals and the byproducts. Then there's new 5GC, which also promotes chronic inflammation. So if you look back at, we're not going to, but if you went back to all of those mechanisms of action of aging and then the other ones that are out there, all of these pathways are impacted by these different things that are found in animal products. But most importantly, that other side of that screen, of that coin, is that you're not getting the two most health promoting nutrients, fibers and phytonutrient. That's a mistake, sorry. So those are the most important things. I literally will argue that the two most healthful things that you have to eat every day to get optimal health is fiber and phytonutrients. So where do you get that? You get it from vegetables, fruits, whole grains, legumes, mushrooms, nuts, seeds, herbs, and spices in infinite tasty combinations. How can you think about that on a day-to-day level? Simply said, beautifully said. You've heard this a million times, and I love it. When I teach kids this information, when I talk to adults, everyone in between, you could all look at the rainbow and try to eat at least one or two or three of those every single day. Look for the rainbow in your food. Why? Because a rainbow represents foods that are naturally high in vitamins and minerals, antioxidants, all these powerful phytonutrients we're about to talk about, fiber, water, all essential for disease prevention and optimal health. Every color represents a different group of phytonutrients. That's what's fun about playing with the colors. They are naturally occurring, biologically active substances found in plants. They're not necessarily essential for survival for humans. These phytonutrients, like vitamins and minerals, are essential in our diet, but they contain miraculous elements that are meant to protect and nurture the plant. And it offers those same benefits to humans when we consume them. So that whole concept of xenohormesis, you put plants under stress of being outside, and the bugs and the pesticides and the heat, the weather, all of these things, and the plants are beautifully, created to come up with all of these different compounds that protect itself. But then the most beautiful synergistic thing about nature and this world that we live in is that when we consume it, it also gives us those same benefits. So it's providing color, aroma, and texture for the plants. It's also protecting them against predators, pests, and outdoor elements, which is also helping us with anti-inflammatory, anti-cancer, and a million other things that we're going to talk about in a second. The most phytonutrient-rich foods, again, the rainbow, but the most powerful one of all, still to this day, the leafy green vegetables. That's why I signed my books with leafy green love. They are so extraordinary. Anything leafy green, I love Dr. Esselstyn's green song. I wish I could emulate it, kale, collards, bok choy. I can't do it, but anyway, all the greens. And then cruciferous vegetables. And then if you're really looking at the real savvy vegetables, the real smart ones that we really are just, they know their stuff, broccoli, kale, those are both, Brussels sprouts, those are both cruciferous and leafy greens. So they are extraordinarily powerful. Then there's the blue and purples, which offer a compound mostly called the anthocyanins. Those are the blueberries and blackberries, plums, cherries, Also the blue and purple vegetables like eggplant, stuff like that. Well, technically that's a fruit because it has seeds, but we don't have to get into all the details. Tomatoes are really important, especially when you cook it. So when you turn it into a tomato sauce, like a marinara sauce or a sofrito, like they did in the Mediterranean, the heating it for hours at a time increases the amount of lycopene, which is really good, and lutein for eye health and to protect against prostate cancer. So wonderful because you're getting all of those enhanced phytonutrients after cooking. See, so raw is good, but sometimes cooked is good as well. Garlic and onions, all those wonderful foods from the allium family are super health promoting with phytonutrients. Citrus, flax seeds, soybeans. This is literally just a sprinkling of so many. And here's a little bit more detail on it. So those reds, they have certain phytochemicals like anthocyanins, lycopene, ellagic acid, flavanols, capsaicin, my favorite because that's in spicy hot, makes the spicy hot and hot sauce, my favorite thing on the planet. Carotenoids, all those reds. So those are linked to reducing risk for cancer. They are antioxidative, anti-inflammatory. They enhance immunity, immune function. There's some examples: berries, grapefruit, pomegranates, tomatoes, red beans, red peppers, watermelon. Then there's the oranges and yellows. And again, some of these, mix. They're not all pure one or the other, which is what's so fun. But the carotenoids, flavonoids, bioflavonoids, good for your immune function, vision, eye health. That's the cantaloupe, apricot, mango, papaya, squash, carrots, yams. And then the greens, again, we're back to the greens. Here's just some of the phytonutrients found in greens. I just had a huge bowl of greens before I came on here. Lots of broccoli and Brussels sprouts and kale and cabbage in my lunch. But there's lutein, zeaxanthin, catechins, glucosinolates, carotenoids, chlorophyll. What I learned, which I thought was a cool fun fact in case you haven't heard this yet, or that all the carotenoids are found in the leafy greens, which usually show up as red, orange, yellow, but because the green, the chlorophyll is so predominant, that color dominates, that you can't see all the other ones. But green chlorophyll is really powerful. I'm sure you've heard a lot about that here in this conference. These greens are antioxidative, they enhance immunity, vision and eye health, reduce cancer risk, they act as deodorant, chlorophyll does, wound healing, a million things. All the greens, green fruits, green veggies, green. Put on your green goggles, I like to tell my clients, and look when you're on a menu, when you're traveling, when you're looking at what you're going to have for lunch, look for green. And then the blues and purples, again, the anthocyanins, there's also flavanols in there, which are also antioxidative, anti-inflammatory, anti-mutagenic. Beets, blackberries, blueberries, cherries, plums, purple cabbage. And then the whites. When it's a natural white from fruits and vegetables, you get all sorts of wonderful things. And mushrooms, there's these glucosinolates, thiosulfonates, catechins. These have antifungal, antiviral, antibacterial, anti-inflammatory, reduce cancer risk. I used to lump in mushrooms, I'll talk about this later, into the vegetable category. I know, shame on me, what a mistake. They are not vegetables, they are fungi, which I also used to call fungi, which is way more fun to say. But fungi are not only vegetable-like, but they are extraordinary for your immune function. I take